the American black woman is the backbone of the fight to take the rightful place in America and get that. So, who are these women, people? I mean, people are talking about learning African and African history, and they talk about Winnie, and it's good to talk about Winnie. Winnie was a great woman. She stood beside Nelson Mandela and fought the good fight against apartheid in South Africa. But there are so many American black women right now that I can bet my bottom dollar that people who claim to want to have to run to Africa for inspiration to say that there's something don't know these women. Who are these 4 women up here? Right? Okay. Right here. That's Ella Baker. Right? Dorothy Height, Fannie Lou Hamer, and Ida B. Wells Barnett. Now look, do you know any of these ladies and what they have done to move us forward in this country? Right? And so I'm not going to go through each one because this is your study assignment, right? Time to research American black historical figures. Look, do you know who these women are? This is a combination between liberators, politicians, and entertainers that broke through to chip away at the disenfranchisement that was being put forth. Now, Mary McLeod Bethune, Shirley Chisholm. Reagan is depressed, but I voted for Shirley Chisholm. That's a clue when you go research. Reagan is depressed, but I voted for Shirley Chisholm. Right? Nina Simone. Mississippi. Harriet Tubman. You know this, but you usually see Harriet Tubman as old and feeble, but this is her Harriet Tubman when she was a writer. So Sojourner Truth, and Mary Anderson, right? Marian Anderson, right? Do you know who these people are? Do you know who these ladies are? Again, time to research American black historical figures. You might say, oh, she can't be black. She can't be black. She looks like she's white.
Come in all shades.
We come in all shades. It's ridiculous. Right. Get it out your mind. Right? Mary Church Farrell, Bessie Coleman. You know who? I know. I don't even have to say this name. This is a younger picture. You used to see her when she's older, but I want to be able to connect people when they were in their 20s, late 20s, early 30s. That is Rosa Parks. You know Rosa Parks. She just wouldn't, she wasn't trying to, she was tired that day. And when they was putting the sign back to say get up and move back, as the white people got on, she said, I'm not moving today. And it kicked it off. The Montgomery bus boycott.
They didn't tell us that in school.
They did?
Like in elementary school. They didn't tell us that the sign was moved back. They led us to believe that when black people and white people, when they got on the bus, the black people had to go to the back and white people sat in front. They didn't tell us that the more the bus was filled, right? The sign moved back, right? So by the time, before the person may have even reached their destiny, all of the black people destination, all of the black people may be standing up because they're constantly moving the sign back so white people can have a seat.
This right here, people, is Ruby Bridges. Do you know who Ruby Bridges is? Do you know who this lovely lady is? From beginning, when she first came onto the scene till the end, Ruby D. Cleveland's own. Do you know these people? Time to research American Black figures because this woman's still alive. It's time to research American Black figures. So look, who are these women that I just showed you? Where did they come from? When did they move? When did they move? Meaning what time, what era in American Black history did they move? How did they move? How did they do what they do? For what did they move? For what did they move? What was their goal? Why were their contributions so great for American blacks? This is a research time, people, to research about these people. Why some blacks ignore American Black history to want to be African? Let's ask the question again. Why some blacks ignore American Black history to want to be African? One more time. Why some blacks ignore American Black history to want to be African? They don't know the foremothers of American blacks. They don't know the foremothers of American blacks. So people, who is this person? You know, last week we talked about Pan-Africanism and people wanting to run Africa instead of knowing the American Black female foremothers. Right? Who is this person right here? What does she stand for? What did she do? If you do not know this person, why are you running all the way over to Africa if you don't even know our people here? American blacks, civil rights, human rights, pushed around the globe. We talked about it last week. This person right here is Barbara Jordan, people. This is Barbara Jordan. And she warned us about this time that we're in now with the immigrants. So let's start laying the rubber to the road.